Hello there, welcome back to another review. Today I'm going to be talking about Mario Strikers Battle League on the Nintendo Switch, which came out last Friday. So I've been playing, this is a week now I've been playing this game, so I feel I'm in a good position to sort of give you my sort of honest thoughts and opinions on the game, a good review of the game, what I liked, what I didn't like, that kind of thing. This is the first Mario Strikers game I've actually ever owned. I've played the others, of course, but this is the first one I've ever actually owned myself. So I'm just putting it out there that I'm not trying to make myself out to be a Mario Strikers expert, aficionado. I know this franchise inside out, that kind of thing. So I just thought I'd clear that up, get that out of the way. So I'll give you my honest thoughts on it, what I liked about it, because I know a lot of people are still in two minds about whether to play this, well, to sort of buy this game or not. I know a lot of people have heard exactly the best, most positive things about this game. I know some people out there absolutely love it. Some people are sort of, could have been more, that kind of thing. But I'll give you my honest thoughts today, let you know what I think, and we'll just go from there. So this is the third game in the Mario Super Strikers series, as I'm sure you all know, following a release on the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii. So before I get into like the pros and cons of this game, let me just talk about what the game offers. So you start off with like a training mode. There's always a training mode to just get used to the controls, what the game, involves, and the mechanics of how the characters and what's involved when you're playing on the pitch. I mean, you definitely need to complete the training, because especially if you, like I say, if you've never played a Mario Strikers game before, because it just gets you used to how it works. I mean, the whole game took me a good day or so just to get used to, like I said, the mechanics and just how everything works and how it works together and everything like that. There's also a quick battle where you can sort of go v friends, go online and everything. There's cup battles, which is basically sort of your single player. That's sort of your single player content, like you could view it as sort of the campaign mode of the game. And also there's like gear settings where you can equip specific gear for each character to boost up stats, lower stats, and which you purchase with coins, which you earn from completing cups or completing matches online, or taking part in playing the game basically. And of course there's the Strikers Club, which hasn't actually started yet at the time of giving this review. I've set up a club and everything, and I've done what they asked you to do. But I can imagine once this gets going, this is basically where the bulk of my time will be spent, in the Strikers Club, because it's where you can join a creative squad and you can have 20 players max in your squad, and you take part in a season against other clubs. So hopefully, like I say, it sounds promising. Hopefully there's a lot of fun to be had there with the Strikers Club. But I think that's definitely where Nintendo are at with this game. I think they're definitely looking into that's sort of where their focus is with this game. I think the Strikers Club is definitely going to be a big selling point of the game, or hopefully what might appeal to people and consumers. So getting into the game itself, and like I say, being totally honest with you about what I thought, the game is actually pretty bare bones when it comes to single player. There's really not a lot. I mean, especially like I say, if you're just a solo gamer and you're just one of these people that games on your own and it's something you just do as like a hobby kind of thing. Once you've completed all the cup battles on both normal and galactic mode, there really isn't much else to do other than online. There really isn't a lot to do. As I say, there's a normal mode and a galactic mode. Once these are complete, there really isn't much else in the way of single player you can do. Of course, if you've got friends round, you can have a game with them, you can play online with people, but that really isn't. The game is very sort of bare in the sense that there is not a lot there in the game. As I say, it's sort of like it's a lot of it feels very stripped down. It feels very sort of basic in the layout and what's on offer, which isn't a bad thing. Please don't think this is me criticizing the game, giving it a bad press or anything like that. This is just me, as I say, giving my honest opinion of the game, and I really do enjoy this game. I want to get that clear and out the way right now. I really do love this game. Really having fun with it. Whenever like I said, I've been playing online past 3 or 4 days now. Really having a great time, great fun with it. We'll go and talking about the solo mode. The cup battles on the galactic mode can be somewhat challenging, to say the least, as the AI on your team doesn't always seem to be the best, and it can be very frustrating. Like the enemy team their goalie always seems to save everything, and your goalie always seems to let quite a lot in. I mean, I've completed the galactic mode, no problem. Well, got through it. I say no problem. I got through it. But I did look it up, and I did notice that like just seeing if anybody else is having a bit of trouble with this. And I did find a lot of people are saying, you know, it's quite tough, it's quite a challenge, but it's one of them things. Just persistence is key, and you get through a bit. It can't. All I'm saying, it's not that it's sort of difficult. It just can be insanely frustrating to the point where sometimes it sucked out a bit of the fun for me, because it was just sometimes the AI was just so infuriating. But I still kept coming back, you know what I mean? I still kept coming back to play the game. It wasn't like, that's me done, that game is rubbish, I'm walking away, I'm going to play something else. There was just certain moments here and there where you thought, wow, you know, how is that even? Because like I say, it just seemed to be a bit, well, the computer AI and everything get all the perks and everything, and they dodge every single tackle you try to do. They pass relentlessly without you even getting a touch of the ball. And I mean, who knows, maybe I just suck at the game, but I've completed the Galactic Mode. It's done. So I know for a lot of people that are complaining about this game or having problems with this game, it's about the small character roster, which I think is a very valid criticism. I know Daisy was a glaring admission for some people. And there isn't really anything to unlock. I mean, like I say, you've got gear that you can apply to each character, but there doesn't seem. It would be wonderful if it had like sort of a system that it has on sort of like beat 'em ups, or you know, where you complete the game and then you unlock a new character. But the characters that are there are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the character roster or anything like that. But it'd have been wonderful to see some more, you know, people make an appearance. It would be wonderful to see others, like, you know, like say Daisy. It'd be wonderful to see Toadette make an appearance. It would just be nice if they just added, not necessarily an awful lot more, but just a few more, just to boost up the roster a little bit. And as I say, aside from just like applying a few gear like here and there to your characters, just to boost up their shooting technique, that kind of thing, passing, whatever you feel is necessary to the character you're using. Of course, every character has stats they're better at than others. There isn't, like I say, really an awful lot to unlock. It really is sort of, once you've completed the cup battles, you just take it to online and just game with friends, which is fine. Like I say, if you're just a solo gamer, then maybe you may want to just hold fire and buying this game. It's not to say it's not still fun, but it's one of them games that, like with a lot of Nintendo games, it's best enjoyed with friends. It's best enjoyed, I was about to say, and just be prepared that the single player, it can be completed relatively quickly, the cup battles and everything. So like hyper strikes, dodges, passing, tackling, perfect shots, through passes, team tackles are all things that need to be mastered in order to like succeed at this game if you want to be sort of half decent. And it's one of them games, like practice makes perfect, and I've definitely got better at the game as the days have gone. It's not weeks, sorry, as the days have progressed. Like I said, I've spent a good 7 days on it now, and I definitely, you know, my skill and how I can play the game has definitely improved. And I say, thanks, by the time you finish Galactic Mode, as I keep stressing, was quite a chore in itself. You're quite sufficient at most of these things, because all the things that you get taught in the training session, they need to be applied in Galactic Mode. Believe you me, you need to, like, in Galactic Mode, you have to bring your A game. You have to bring, I mean, some of you out there might sail through it. You might be totally fine. Galactic Mode's no problem for you. But for me, it was just a bit. It just took a good few hours to actually get through it. But normal mode's fine. Normal mode's, like I say, it's a cakewalk. But as I say, hyper strikes, dodges, passing. There's so many techniques to get used in this game. Of course, there's loads of items and power ups you can use, like green shells, red shells, stars. That all can be used on the pitch. Mushrooms make you go faster, keeping with that Mario. You know, keeping with the Mario vibe there. As I say, it would have been nice. Another thing I have, not a problem, just a little thing that would have been maybe nice, like regarding your stats for like when say you complete a game online, it'd be nice to see stats of like how many you've won, how many if it kept a record of how many sort of matches you've lost, and you know, just a record of like your previous games and like how well you're doing at the game and things like that. I mean, it comes up with stats at the end of the match, like how many shots you had, how many shots they had, how many passes. But it would nice to have like an all-time record. It would be nice to keep like an all-time, so you've got like a sort of career profile that you can look at and see, oh, you know, that's where I'm at, or that's my win to loss ratio, that kind of thing. Regarding like the stadiums, there's really not many stadiums either. I think there's 5 or 6. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Um, but regarding the stadiums, it really doesn't matter what stadium you pick, because you don't really see a lot of the stadium around you when you're actually playing, because the camera is so sort of tight in and top down. You're not actually seeing much of what the stadium that is around you. So that's a bit of a shame, because some of the stadiums, look, like I say, it would have been nicer to have a bit more stadiums and obviously to have seen more of them. And also, I did find that when playing two on the same team, I thought it would alter if you, because you can do like two of you, like one of you controls 2 players, and another you controls another 2 players. And I thought when you pick 2 characters, I thought you would sort of alternate between them 2 characters that you pick, and you sort of alternate between any two that the computer sort of like whoever's near the ball, that kind of thing. Again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Because I thought it'd alternate between the characters I pick and the other player controls the two he or she picks. It doesn't work like that. It basically jumps about through the team when switching player, if that makes sense. So that can be quite confusing. It can be very chaotic at times, which I know is the nature of the game. I fully get that is the whole idea of the game. But I know it can be a little annoying sometimes. Sometimes I lose track of the ball completely, like, you know. And again, I'm sure some of you have no problem with this game, but for me, sometimes when it gets really chaotic, I'm like, where is the ball? Like, I'm looking down here, but the ball's actually up there, kind of thing. But I don't want to give you the right, like I'm slagging this game off or I'm not enjoying it, because I really am. I'm pleased I bought it, and it's one of them games that I would definitely recommend. I would give it a good solid review. It's just one of them things where it's, like I say, it's almost like they've gone for a real bare bones approach. It would have been wonderful to have seen a bit more unlockables, a few more characters, a few more stadiums, a few more things, like especially in the solo mode that you could work towards. I understand it's designed as like a party game, like with friends and that, but it would have been wonderful if there was a bit more to attract sort of the solo player. I mean, I really enjoy most, as I say, and it's definitely a fun game, and it just what would have made it a great game is just been the points I've mentioned before. The roster would have been a bit bigger, slightly more unlockables, that kind of thing. But aside from that, as I say, give it a go. Mario Strikers, as I say, I'm not claiming to be like a complete, really knowledgeable on the Mario Strikers series. I mean, like I say, I've played the other games, but this is the first one I've sort of really owned and spent some quality time with. I'm sure loads of you fans out there of the series have your favourites. But if you have played this game, you've picked it up in the last 7 days or so, in the last week or so, you're planning to get it, let me know. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if you agree, disagree with any points I've made. But yeah, I hope this review has been useful. Hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you soon.